Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alfriki and Today FM rocks here in Tavua.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilaiti Ambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rock.
In the news tonight, Rambuka admits to being a military camp during 2000 mutiny. Elections office finishes ballot paper packing. And pre-poll continues around the country.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Smith.
18 years after the Queen Elizabeth Barracks mutiny took place, then former Prime Minister and now SODELPA leader Sitiveni Rambuka has finally revealed to FBC News that he was at the barracks during the revolt on November 2nd, 2000. The second mutiny, which was led by Captain Shane Stevens, was aimed to depose the then military commander Vorenge Bainimarama. Akosita Tale reports Rambuka since 2000 has been living in denial.
Rumors of Rambuka's illegal attempt to take over the military 18 years ago have been doing the rounds for some time. Even a mutiny court case in which 4 out of the 5 assessors found him guilty couldn't convict him when the trial judge acquitted him. Despite being accused by Lieutenant Colonel William Isirovakula of trying to incite a mutiny that aimed to assassinate our current Prime Minister and the then military commander Vorenge Bainimarama, Rambuka escaped conviction. Since then, there have always been questions whether Rambuka had turned up to the military camp with his uniform to take over at the height of the mutiny. Questions that are being answered now.
No. That is a fact. I was in camp. I went in when I was called to go in. And I was called by Home Affairs Operations Room. And I said to them, well, tell the commander that I'm going in there. I didn't know where he was at the time.
Despite his mysterious appearance at the camp with his uniform, Rambuka denies instigating and supporting the mutiny, which saw the murder of loyal soldiers and the attempted killing of the military commander.
Rubbish. He was there. He was there for a reason. He had his uniform with him. All my soldiers that were on duty saw him in his uniform at the back. And in fact, he talked with one of the senior colonels to say, I want all the colonels to band together and just give me the authority to take over command of the military. And there was another major who said, the colonel doesn't have any authority to give you that permission. But lucky he wasn't shot that day.
Bainimarama adds the military knows that apart from the 1987 coup, Rambuka was also involved in the 2000 coup. Former President Ratu Sir Kami Sesemara had revealed in 2001 that 2 days after the coup, he had confronted Rambuka and the then police chief Isikia Savua about their possible involvement in the coup. He said that within half an hour of Spade's coup, Rambuka had called the government house to offer to form a government. Ratumara further alleged that the counter-revolutionary warfare unit of the army had been involved in the coup after receiving training on a farm owned by Rambuka. In a later interview, Rambuka angrily denied the allegations, saying that these were ravings of an angry old man and very unbecoming of a national leader and of a statesman such as Ratumara. The charges, however, were repeated in Senate in 2004 by Ratumara's daughter, Andikwela Nailatikau. Speculation remains to this day as to what would have happened to Fiji and its people if the murder of the army commander and the mutiny of 2000 had been successful. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
All ballot boxes for polling day have now been packed. The last batch of ballot boxes were packed at the Fijian Elections Office warehouse in Laudala Beach this morning. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports.
Packed, sealed and ready to be delivered. The last of the 2,155 ballot boxes for polling venues across the country. The process closely followed and monitored by polling agents and the multinational observer group.
The boxes that we are packing now are for Central Division, and we have completed that packing today. These will be sent from here to the Central Division storage area later this afternoon.
Ballot boxes for the Northern and Western Divisions have already been packed and sent to their respective storage facilities to await presiding officers.
The presiding officers will be coming in as per their schedule. Some will come as early as Sunday afternoon to verify their materials.
Election Supervisor Mohammed Sanim has commended elections officials for packing all the ballot boxes in record time.
In comparison to 2014, The last box for Central Division was packed 2 days before elections. So we are well to do with time. We're in advance of time.
A total of 550,220 Fijians are eligible to vote in the 2018 general election. 69,472 for pre-poll, 11,227 for postal voting, and the remainder will vote on polling day in 854 different polling venues. Eleanor Turangaibiu, FBC News.
Around 70 villagers in Ambadha yesterday had the opportunity to cast their votes as pre-polling began around the country. Many villagers who voted said they believe this was an important day for every Fijian. Felipe Naikaso has more.
Exercising their civic rights, these villagers were up early this morning waiting for the Fijian Elections Office pre-polling team to cast their votes.
Villagers who had registered have been waiting for this day. For them, it's an important moment. I'm also glad that everyone who had registered to vote are all here.
The village, which is in the interior of Vunda, about an hour's drive from Lautoka City, were allocated 2.5 hours for pre-polling. These villagers are happy as they know their vote matters.
I'm really happy that I have voted today, as this is my right, which is what I have exercised today.
I'm glad that we were given the option to vote and also not to vote. I voted because my vote will matter.
Today is an important day for these villagers here in Ambadha as they've casted their votes on who they think should lead the country in the next 4 years. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Despite the heavy penalties given by the court for rape, more men continue to sexually harm the vulnerable in society. Fiji First Leader Vocational, while raising his concerns on increase in rape cases, says he fully supports the idea of introducing harsher sentences for rapists in the country. Akusita Tale reports he made the stand at a Fiji First campaign in Namboa last night.
59-year-old Kinivuai Nathangilevu pleaded with the Fiji First Leader yesterday to reintroduce corporal punishment at our correction facilities, especially for rapists.
There's an alarming increase of women and children topping the list of rape and sexual offences committed against them. And convicted rapists are only sentenced for less than a decade, while some receive more, but it's not enough to reduce the increasing problem in the country. Can something be done about this?
While personally agreeing to his plea, Vocational says we should also be considerate of human rights.
I don't know if the corporal punishment will do us any good. Maybe the length of the court can be asked to lengthen the sentence.
The Amnesty International says taking a systematic approach is the best way possible to reduce sexual offences against women and children.
So implementing or imposing any form of corporal punishment for people that are incarcerated for these crimes is not an effective measure. It will do nothing to actually change the status of girls and women in this country.
Meanwhile, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions last month charged 19 people with a total of 34 counts of separate serious sexual offences. 12 victims were under the age of 18. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
Some Social Democratic Liberal Party candidates are not allowed to campaign on any issues not outlined in the party manifesto, claims leader Sitiveni Rambuka. Rambuka says despite briefing his candidates that it is paramount to campaign on the same issues to avoid confusion among Fijians, this is not happening. Anna Ravula reports.
The SODELPA leader has instructed his candidates not to deviate from what has been laid out in their manifesto.
You will probably remember that one says that we will reintroduce the death penalty, capital punishment, and one talked about something else. And I said to the campaign team and media team, please refocus their attention on the manifesto.
Rambuka adds everyone in the party must campaign on what they have all agreed to. However, Fiji First Leader Vocational says this should have been done on the first day of SODELPA's campaign.
We should have told these party members the day they began, not now, when they've been lying to us for over 2-3 months. It's supposed to be a party that listens. They're not listening to one another. Boss is going one way, the rest is going the other way.
Bainimarama claims that SODELPA has been lying to Fiji from last year, spreading lies to the Fijian community, which is not a good thing. Meanwhile, SODELPA is expected to beef up their campaign with a few days left for election. Ana Ravulo, FBC News.
I'm not a racist, and SODELPA is not a racist party. SODELPA leader Sitiveni Rambuka made these comments while speaking at a campaign meeting in Narere last night. Rambuka says there are claims of SODELPA being a nationalist and racist party are not true. Rambuka says never in the history of Fiji someone is killed because of his or her religion and ethnicity. With SODELPA trying to gain more support for the upcoming general election, Rambuka says they will continue to push for what they believe is best for Fiji.
There has not been any hate race killing in Fiji.
Still to come, Ministry clarifies usage of bus fare scheme. And Fijians get ready for Diwali Day. Details after the break.
Bula, nevang go malakai leloma, ngongai nakas untuk makarong ng bula feb, nambang dua na sere.
Hoya o basit sai sa ilambasa, ya untuk talita na warong ng bula FM nambang dua na sere.
Guya do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ng bula FM nambang dua na sere.
Wala na tunga ng bula FM nambang dua na sere nawaluan.
Nevang go fane na tao no go singa toka, kita untuk talita kana bula FM nambang dua na sere.
Bula FM nambang dua na sere.
The public will soon be able to lodge reports on any environmental threats as the government will soon launch a national environment hotline. Speaking at the Climate National Day at Sukuna Park in Suva today, COP23 President Vocational Bainimarama urged Fijians to take more interest in building resilience and reducing carbon emissions. Kelly Vadala reports.
The people are being urged to take a lead role in the fight against climate change.
So if you see someone dumping rubbish where they shouldn't, please report it. If you see someone removing trees, report it. If you see someone pulling out mangroves, report it. The onus is on all of us to take responsibility for the quality of our surroundings.
The Prime Minister says regardless of your respective political affiliations, the fight against climate fight unites us all. British High Commissioner to Fiji Melanie Hopkins says Fiji is leading by example in terms of climate action.
The Duke of Sussex rightly highlighted that we look to Fiji to provide leadership on environmental issues which affect all of us. So not just you here, the boys and girls of the future of Fiji, but also the boys and girls in the United Kingdom.
Meanwhile, the two youngest COP23 ambassadors to Bonn, Germany last year enlightened the crowd of their experience.
This was another opportunity to tell the other side of the world about our devastation due to their ignorance.
The problem of climate change did not arise overnight, and it will take time to reverse the results.
Various schools within the Suva area, along with various climate and disaster agencies, were part of the event. The theme for Climate National Day is Keep 1.5 Alive. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
The Social Welfare Ministry has clarified that there are no travel restrictions on the usage of the $40 e-transport top-up under the free bus fare scheme. This follows reports received that some bus operators are not allowing recipients to use their $40 top-up for long-distance travel. Sanyani Boiler reports.
Social Welfare Permanent Secretary Dr. Josefa Koroiwueta says the $40 top-up can be used in any bus providing services around the country.
As far as we are concerned, with the agreements made with Vodafone and the Fiji bus operators, there is no such stopgap or such an issue that we would have expected.
Fiji Bus Operators Association President Richard Lal says we haven't received any reports from recipients regarding the issue and will not tolerate such acts.
I'm aware of any such incidents, but if there is, I think what they need to do, the person that's having this difficulty should first go to a Vodafone outlet to see whether the card has been uploaded. Whether it's long or short distance, the system must work. If there could be no problem. It's not a driver decision, it's the system.
The $40 top-up is given on a monthly basis to senior citizens and persons with disabilities. A total of 51,000 recipients are currently under the free bus fare scheme. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
75% of all breast cancer cases are presented to the hospital when patients reach their final stage. While the hospitals are able to provide these patients with the needed treatment, the survival rate becomes as low as 22%. Rachel Nath reports.
About breast cancer.
Working with Fiji for several years now, Australian surgeon Gaushi Shivraja says it's the fear that results in late detection.
Patients present early. This cancer is curable. It's a curable cancer. And in terms of types of surgery that they're offered, they don't have to have as big a surgery. They may not need chemotherapy or radiotherapy if they present early enough. And so it's that fear that's blocking that.
Surgeon believes if Fiji adapts radiography treatment for all forms of cancer, it will help to increase survival rates.
Fiji is one of those places where it has such potential and it has, the potential for more resource to be input to be able to deal with these issues. So I think that's really important.
Breast cancer survivor Jemima Thakau is pleading with Fijians to opt for early detection.
The medical facilities are available to us, freely available for us to use, and we need to take advantage of that. Once the early detection is cited, it'll be easy for the doctor. But if you resort to herbals or traditional medicine, it's never been proven to cure the cancer.
The Health Ministry has confirmed 77 Fijians have lost their lives due to breast cancer in the first 7 months of this year. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
Lautoka lawyer Aman Ravindra Singh has been found guilty of 1 count of professional misconduct by the Independent Legal Services Commission. The commission heard that as a legal practitioner, Singh failed to respond to a complaint lodged by Shailesh Kumar in October last year, as required by the Chief Registrar on 2 occasions. Singh had pleaded not guilty to 1 count of professional misconduct. The parties have been ordered to file written submissions on penalty. The matter will be called again before the Independent Legal Services Commission on 4th February. It's Diwali Eve and Fijians turned up in their favourite attire to work, lighting up their working environment and also decorating their offices to mark the Festival of Lights. Rachel Nath took to the streets of the capital to catch the hype, last-minute shopping, sweet making and also capture the Diwali spirit.
Silver City was a buzz today with Fijians trying to beat the heat and rush to finish their last-minute shopping.
Good here in Suva. People every races they are celebrating the Diwali.
Preparations for Diwali has been always amazing. I have loved the Festival of Lights ever since. And as you can see, the outfits is the preparation for the last few weeks.
I've come to do my last minute shopping whereby I want to buy some bangles, utensils and firecrackers.
Just some crackers for kids and maybe a little of utensils.
And no Diwali, of course, is complete without sweets.
Sweet pack has varieties of sweet combinations, right? And I believe that if you feel appreciated and you're celebrating Diwali, you go to anyone's place or people come to your place, you give them variety of sweets. And sweet book is something that people appreciate and it's full of colors. And Diwali is all about full of colors.
Diwali, which is a 5-day festival, started on Monday and will finish on Friday with the main celebrations set for tomorrow. The weatherman has also blessed us with great news as generally fine weather is predicted to prevail over our public holiday tomorrow. This means there will be lots of sweets to consume and, of course, fireworks let go by most to celebrate one of the most looked forward religious festivals in Fiji. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
Juveniles will now get an opportunity to study following the relaunch of the Nasinu Corrections Vocational Centre today. The Fiji Corrections Services has spent $45,000 on the relaunch, which is aimed at helping offenders get their lives back on track. Sainiani Mboila reports.
It's a new dawn for 25-year-old Opeti Jerome, who is one of the 173 inmates under the care of the Nasinu Corrections Centre. Jerome, who is currently serving his 3rd year at the Juvenile Centre, says the new facility will enable him to continue his education.
The new education facility is a great help for us inmates, especially when we will go out and have families. I will be able to get a job on the skills and certificate I've gained from this education facility. I will also be able to help my family and friends.
Fiji Corrections Service Commissioner Commander Francis King says the new facility will help upskill inmates and prepare them for the outside world.
A National Correctional Center, and hopefully they will receive some form of qualification that when they do finish serving their time with us, they can use that certification as a form of securing them some form of employment on their departure from prison.
The Vocational Center will provide technical education such as automotive engineering and other skills to more than 20 inmates. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
Approximately $59 million is being pumped into the economy by the yachting industry per year. This was revealed during a national yachting stakeholders meeting in Nandi today, following a recent study conducted by an independent consultancy firm based in Sydney. Felipe Naikaso has more.
The recent study highlights the important contribution made by the yachting tourism sector to the Fijian economy.
It's a big number, and as people have pointed out, it is up there among several of the other industries that export from Fiji's economies.
According to the report, 714 visitors arrived in the country by yachts so far this year. However, the study shows that an annual spend for each visitor per trip is at more than $6,000 compared to other tourists who on an average spend at least $2,000.
It was approximately a month, and the target number of respondents was close to 800, and we achieved a 33% successful respondent rate.
It's very encouraging to see how much they are spending, but it's also a great opportunity for us to, if we promote this properly and push hard, there is a great upside to it.
Super yachts arriving in Fiji also surpassed Australia, with each visit generating $167,000 with an annual overall contribution of $7.9 million so far this year. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Coming up in sports later with Jamie, Fiji gears up for the Oceania Sevens that will be played this weekend. But before that, here's Rachel with all the day's business updates.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up after the break. Service stations reduce plastic bag usage by millions. And in growing Fiji, flooding issues addressed for Dravo residents. Stay with us.
Lola, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singapore. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Mariva. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singapore.
Gold FM, only the classic.
In business tonight, 77 stations have reduced the use of plastic bags from their convenience stores by 3.5 million since the introduction of the 10 cents plastic bag levy last year. Fiji Fuel Retailers Association Secretary Pavan Hari says the decrease demonstrates the commitment by its members to support the national effort to protect the environment. Hari says association members have transferred approximately $85,000 to the Fiji Revenue and Customs Service for applying the single-use plastic bag levy at convenience stores at service stations.
There was a lot of sort of back work regarding that. 3.5 million doesn't just happen overnight, so we had to train our staff, we had bumper stickers, we had posters. It's really changing the behavior of people in Fiji, and we definitely think we definitely did a bit of a behavioral change across the board.
We now join Sinifa from HFC Bank with the latest from the trading world.
Today we'll see the Reserve Bank of Australia's latest rate statement and interest rate decision. With the Aussie Central Bank firmly entrenched with rates at 1.5%, traders will instead be focusing on the Reserve Bank of Australia's outlook with critical focus on employment conditions and wages as the Australian economy continues to dig itself out of sluggish growth. Asian shares ticked up early this morning, supported by Wall Street gains, although sentiment was tempered ahead of the U.S. midterm elections, the first major electric test for President Trump's big tax cuts and hostile trade policies. Many investors are expecting Trump to continue to take a hard line on trade, regardless of the outcome of the elections. Later on tonight, we have the New Zealand's employment data, followed by their interest rate decision and monetary policy statement tomorrow. We'll see how these releases affect the US dollar and our currency basket tomorrow morning. That's it from me for now. Shub Diwali from HFC Bank. Naka.
Thanks, Anifa. On to the exchange rates as it was set this morning. It was a mixed day for the Fiji dollar against the currencies we deal with. The Fiji dollar rose against the Chinese yuan, the US dollar, the kina, the euro and the Japanese yen. As for the commodities market, oil remained steady just under $63 a barrel. Gold was down to close at $1,230 an ounce and silver closed at $14.63 an ounce. And in Fiji tonight, flash flooding during torrential rains will now be a thing of the past for residents living along Dravo Road in Tailevu. The Fiji Roads Authority is currently addressing the issue by clearing drains and block culverts along the road and opening outlets to the nearby river. 51-year-old Vuniana Ranatoro, who lives along the road, says more than 200 residents rely on the road for daily access. He says when it floods, taxis and four-wheel drive cars are reluctant to cross the road, so school children, farmers and residents had to cross the flood waters on foot. The work on the road will be completed by the end of the month. And that's business for tonight. Jamie joins you now with sports.
Thank you, Rachel, and good evening. In sports tonight, cross-counter wins the 2018 Melbourne Cup. And an update from the Flying Fijians camp ahead of their match against Scotland. There's more coming up.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
First up in sports tonight, cross-counter has won the Melbourne Cup for Australian jockey Kieran McAvoy and English trainer Charlie Appleby. Marmelo finished second, while a Prince of Arran was third. Fiji Airways Sevens coach Gareth Baber is backing his decision to name Kalione Nasoko as captain for the national side that will compete at the Oceania Sevens Championship this weekend. Nasoko was given the captaincy role after Paulan Ranisinukula was ruled out due to injury. Baber also explains the reason why Jerry Tuwai has been reassigned. Mili Tavanga with the details.
Coach Gareth Baber says Kalione Nasoko has been very instrumental in the last 2 seasons of the World 7 Series.
Seen this weekend, Paolo would have been the choice otherwise. Paolo is now out with an injury. And as we do is, you adjust and you move on. So Kali will take the team this week in terms of obviously the captaincy.
When asked about why Jerry Tuwai was not given the captaincy role this weekend, Baber says his desire is always to develop many leaders in the squad.
I spoke to Jerry and I think that he had a huge amount to deal with through that season. And Jerry himself, and we talked about it, there's a lot of pressure on captains and I want to develop other leaders and I felt that this was a good opportunity for bringing Kali and Paula into the fore. I've spoken numbers of times last year when people questioned Jerry's captaincy, that there was others around that could lead. And really what I want from Jerry is to be Jerry. He's the best player in the world and he's doing what he does best.
Fiji plays Solomon Islands in its first pool match at 4:57 p.m. Friday and will then take on PNG at 8:06 p.m. in its last pool match at Suvos ANZ Stadium. Meli Tavanga, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Airways Flying Fijians are working on their game plan ahead of the Northern Hemisphere Open against Scotland on Sunday. Coach John McKee says they've beefed up preparations as all players have returned to camp after playing for their respective clubs over the weekend. Vaishnav Prasad reports.
Flying Fijians coach John Mackey says they will keep their game simple in their first test match against Scotland.
You know, we've got to move our game on, but we don't want to overburden the players with too much, with too many changes, and which will affect the the intensity that we can bring.
Mackey believes despite Scotland's 21-10 loss to Wales, they don't expect any major changes in Scottish game plan.
Sort of thing that same sort of game patterns they were using when they were on their successful matches in the Six Nations, they used again.
It has been a healthy 2 weeks in camp for the Flying Fijians as they adjusted to their new skipper Domenico Wanganimborotu.
And you know, he's a highly respected player within the team, and certainly, you know, I think he'll lead by example and you know the way he plays the game.
The Flying Fijians will play Scotland at 3:30 a.m. on Sunday. Vaishnav Prasad, FBC Sports.
16 teams will take part in the Southern and Western zones of Vodafone National Club Championship playoffs this weekend. 8 teams each in both zones will compete for the top 4 spots in the NCC finals next weekend. FA Vice President Yogeswar Singh says despite fewer number of participants, they have managed to progress with the tournament.
The club competition left too late in the year. This should have been played in September, but we are unable to do it because the club's competition did not finish in time, so hence we played in November.
The Fiji basketball men's side will compete for the first time in the FIBA Asia Men's Cup 2018 from the 24th of this month to the 4th of December. The tournament is also the pre-qualifiers to the 2021 Men's World Cup in Bangkok. Meanwhile, Kintan International Group has shown its support for the teams sponsoring their uniforms for the tournament while receiving the sponsorship. Basketball Fiji President Major General retired Ioane Navalurua says the assistance is a boost for the side as they chase a place at the 2021 World Cup.
Now you have sponsored the uniforms. I thank you on behalf of the team. Let me also report to you that the team have been preparing well and they're looking forward to the upcoming games. For this particular tournament, this is as a result of the silver medal win we won in the last Pacific Games.
The first America's Cup of Indoor Soccer for Little People with a Disability, also known as dwarfism, was held last week. Argentina and Paraguay played in the first ever final, which went Paraguay's way, and with a number of skillful goals on display. That's it from sports tonight. Join Angie later on with weather, and in the world of the weird and the wonderful, we visit a pet cemetery in the Philippines. That's coming up.
Narang gole semia, awama kita nakas, dorong bina kape na radio Fijian nandomi.
Ayaw benyana, dito barong na radio Fijian nandomi visi hingatoka.
Guelo ilaisa hingatoka, rong bina na heramakawa na radio Fijian hingatoka.
Radio Fijian nandomi viti.
In new media tonight, Huawei's Mate 20 smartphone is fitted with the new Kirin 980 chipset, delivering dual neural processing unit. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Hope you're having fun in this festive season and the weather is just right for it as well. It was also a great weather throughout Fiji today and even better for last-minute shopping around. Taking a look in the west, quite mild. The sun was glowing, a very beautiful day here. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, it was a bit gloomy today, but afterwards it went fine. And up north, another amazing day was witnessed here. At sea, easterly winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. For the tides, low tide at 12:50 a.m. and high tide at 6:59 a.m. Sunrise at 6:24. For tomorrow, how excited are you for Diwali? Or are you worried about the weather? Well, let me clear your worries now. There is no major outbreak of rain or anything of that sort. There is only a few light sprinkles indicated, which will clear off. Tomorrow's temps, all centers will be hitting the lower 30-degree range. And looking further on to Thursday, it's clear and dry for now, so have a safe and happy Deepavali. And it's back to you, Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. You look absolutely gorgeous tonight. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, what are your plans for Diwali celebrations for tomorrow?
हम सब मिलकर दिवाली.
We will celebrate Diwali in a united manner. I will cook lots of sweets and do my prayer.
I'll be celebrating with my family and friends. Tomorrow I'll be celebrating Diwali with my family friends in Labua by enjoying eating sweets with them. Celebrating my Diwali with my friends and my friends, enjoying eating sweets with them.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, a pet cemetery south of the Philippines capital, Manila, is helping distraught owners come to terms with their loss. Pet owners in the Philippines are going to extravagant lengths to bid farewell to their late animals, shelling out up to $440 on cremation services and mementos. With its green flora, Pet Valley in the Philippine town might seem like the perfect place for pets. But pets don't come here to play. It's where they're laid to rest. Established over a decade ago by veterinarian Manny Rees, the pet cemetery has become one of the most popular places in the Philippines for owners to part with their pets. Recapping the main stories for tonight, Rambuka admits to being a military camp during 2000 mutiny. Elections office finishes ballot paper packing and pre-poll continues around the country. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question segment this week, we're asking, are you prepared to pay your house help and gardener $5 an hour? Visit our FBC website to answer. That was your FBC News for tonight. Before we go, our shot of the day is, of course, Diwali related. Here at FBC today, our staff got into the mood and dressed up to celebrate the Festival of Lights. From all of us here at FBC, happy Diwali, Fiji. Good night and stay safe.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबुआ से। जैसे प्रेनी नोट मशहूर है, वैसे रेडियो फिजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फिजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है, वैसे रेडियो फिजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।